What is up, everybody?
Hey.
It's good to see y'all. We got a fun evening ahead of us, and we'll get into all of that. But let's say hey to you guys. We got WJK is here early, saying the truth. Josh is not good at fantasy football. Bring on the Malort. So yes, at the end of the live stream, there will be a Malort punishment for how poorly I did at fantasy football this year in the Stuff and Whiskey Fantasy Football League. And I did not lose, but I was next to last place, and in solidarity with last place, because I really was last place for most of the season. I just had a little run at the end. But yeah, that's luck sometimes. But we got Michael S in the chat, Rizzle D, Brett Jurgens, Ric Flair's hair is here. Woo! Heck yeah, we got Earl in the house. What's up, man? James Lay is here representing some 13th Colony local love. He's not with 13th Colony. He just loves them. He lives locally to them, probably much the same way I love Nashville Barrel Company.
Yeah.
We got Whiskey Britches in the house. John Potzel. Brian Miller's here. What's up? Andrew Butler. Troy and Lisa Toole. Great to see y'all. Brian Click is in the house. David Selby. Mr. Mom. 24-24 NFC game. Yeah. It's Niners came back. Andrew, nobody has ordered a Code Red. Well, maybe somebody tried to. We'll get into it.
I don't know what that means.
Daniel Sutherland's in the house. Kim Schwartz is here.
Hey.
Just saw you. Great to see you in the chat.
Mama P's here.
Mama P's here. Bev. Joel Gross, who generously provided one of the samples for one of tonight's blind flights. We've got Norman Latva in the house.
Whiskey Talk.
Geekon S. Mike James.
Yes, it is a glasses night, Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
I had every intention of showering and putting contacts in and blow drying my hair. And then I got caught up in a creative project until about 20 minutes ago. And so that didn't happen. So you're welcome.
Robert Lee's in the house from Southern Kentucky. Not far, neighbor. Not far. We're in Nashville, Tennessee. Rob Walker's in the house. What's up, Hoss? Mike Reyna's here. Richard White. Russ L. Richie Z. Always great to see you. Justin Williams is here. I pity the fool that hasn't met Justin Williams. That's one of the best people in the world right there. My brother from another mother. Good to see you, man. You got Whiskey Dale, Mike Henson, Steve Walsh. We got a lot of people here, man.
Thanks for showing up.
Great to see y'all. Mississippi Pepper. That's a great name. Or Prepper. Mississippi Prepper. Different than pepper, but you might need pepper if you're a prepper. If you like seasoning on your whatever. Non-perishables. Walt Krause is in the house. Matt Burns is here. Stay tuned for the most disgusting nightcap ever. We got it. It's here and it's ready. And Matt's got some too. Pete F is here. Ferrant? Maybe. One of those two for sure. Mike Ackley's in the house. Dieter is in the house. KB. Right. Mark Gale,
I think we've caught up.
Great to see y'all. Yeah. Golf Whisperer, the Bourbon Engineer is here. Saying Nashville Barrel Company Vapors is here. Yeah, he's got so on Friday we did a barrel pick at Nashville Barrel Company, and Bourbon Engineer is local, and he picked up the barrel and it's in his garage. He's gonna let it dry out, and then we're gonna do some stuff with it. So
but it smells delicious.
Yeah. So we also need to thank you guys for being here. Hit the like button. It helps a ton.
Yep.
If you haven't yet, if you're on mobile, you have to close the chat to do it, but bounce right back. We need to say thank you to our new patrons. I think we had 34 new patrons sign up since we streamed last month.
New year, new you, us. New Patreon.
New members in the community. Yeah. So shout out to everybody. We had some people jumping up in tiers. We've had a ton of new people join in. It's so great. We always want to give our existing Patreon members a huge shout out. We're going to talk a little bit about Patreon tonight as well with the barrel pick that we just did. But all these new members, the whiskey community that gets you in over on Discord. And that's a fantastic thing to be able to share in the community. We've got all kinds of virtual tasting stuff going on, live streams over on Patreon, little pop-up live streams that happen usually weekly. All kinds of stuff. Barrel picks.
Also,
released.
I have to cough. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting over being sick, so I'm gonna try not to cough. You were in the middle of a sentence, so I'm sorry.
Since our last stream, we had right around or right before our last stream, I think daughter was sick, and then I was sick, and then Aaron was sick, and then it's just like that 3 week after the fact lingering cough. So we'll have some congestion. Let me check our mute button here. and then she coughs and it makes me have to cough. I'll try to mute every time I can. So maybe she can like touch me on my leg.
I'll
or
do
something.
my best.
Yeah.
I can't make any promises, but I'll do my best.
All right. So thank you, new patrons, for being a part. And before we get into anything else tonight, we have a lot of tasting to do.
Yeah, we do.
And
if
we
you guys
need
could
our
see
Zbiotics.
all these samples in front of me right now, my mind. Josh told me we'd have a lot of samples to drink, but it didn't really click until I walked in here and saw them. There's a lot of samples, like a lot. So
if you guys know us, you know how much we love Zbiotics. You just take them and shake them.
Is that part of their promo, or is that your additive?
Take them and shake them.
Take them and shake them.
Drink before you drink.
It's shake and bake, and I hail.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
Always our first drink of the evening.
Yeah.
It just, like I said, we don't have more than a pour or two without these things. We love them. I mean, we skeptics turn believers, subscribers ourselves.
Yep.
They sponsor the channel. We believe in them enough that we put our own money on the line.
Yes. And if you have not heard of Zbiotics, what are Zbiotics?
It's a pre-alcohol probiotic that you take before you drink.
Yep.
And it helps your gut handle alcohol much the same way your liver does. I'm not a scientist. They've got a ton of science on their website.
Yes.
In that video in the video description, there's a link
to their website.
And you got the QR code up here if you want to click it. Use stuff. 15% off. You can subscribe and get an additional percentage off for your first order, and then you'll be set. But for us, like, I mean, my phone's over there. It's got the game up, but I have an alarm set every day at 5 a.m. So I can't be going into tasting 2 different flights plus some other pours tonight too, and take any chance that I'm feeling any less than my best in the morning. I got to get up. I got to go to work.
We do. We actually do use these like outside of like being on the internet, because we didn't, when we did our barrel pick, we took some, and somebody was like, "Oh, you guys actually drink those?" I'm like, like we actually take them, like, because I was at lunch drinking my Zbiotics because I was about to do the barrel pick.
Barrel picks, live streams, anything that we do, we want to make sure we feel as good as we can the next morning, and that's what Zbiotics helps with. So
absolutely.
And if it doesn't work for you for some reason, they got a money back guarantee. So
you really can't lose.
100% money back guarantee. Yeah. And they will take care of you. We know their customer service is excellent, but we not only did we not have to use the money back guarantee, which we were fully ready to, we had to subscribe.
Yeah. So we are subscribers ourselves. We pay with our own American dollars. Yeah. So
absolutely.
In addition to them sponsoring us, we also buy more. So because we use it so much.
Right. But we love Zbiotics, and the reason we share it with you guys isn't for any other reason than we want you to feel your best too. I mean, this is in our community, it's called the game changer. That's what everybody calls it. So love them. Thank them for sponsoring tonight. If you want some, get some down there in the video description. So, all right. Patrons thanked. Zbiotics thanked. Something weird's going on.
I got it.
Okay.
I got
it. All right. All right. So you can see what's going on down here. We do have a giveaway tonight for any super chats, and we will catch up on that in a minute. But you want to run, you got the banner running. So we will be giving away a flight that has a sample of 23. I'll get the bottles. It'll have a sample of ECBP C923, laser code A233, laser code A222, and sample of 13th Conley double oaked in there. And so you got 6 of those in the flight through these 3 and 3 other pours to make it interesting.
Yep.
And then because I put the flight together last week, and then we did our barrel pick at Nashville Barrel Company Friday, and they can pump some right out of the bottle and pump some right out of the barrel and put it in the bottle for you. We have our next Nashville Barrel Company pick
that we just picked yesterday, and that will be part of the giveaway as well. And so you can try it before you buy it.
Yep. So there'll be a sample in there. It's all ready to go. All we got to do is just get your address, which you don't have to be present to win, but the giveaway will happen at 1 hour and 50 minutes into the stream.
Yep.
Make sure you check it. If you're not here later, make sure you check it in the morning. Contact us at stuffandwhiskey@gmail.com to ensure that I have your address. I will mail it on Tuesday via private postal courier that will hand deliver it to your home for you, unless you're local, and then we can figure something out.
Yeah.
But I have a private courier on hire ready to hand deliver this package to your door. So it's going to be a really good flight for somebody to win. And again, we love sharing whiskey with you guys, and the super chats really help support the channel in a big way. So really appreciate you guys for being a part of that. So yeah, it's a good way to have some fun.
Yeah.
So
have some fun, share some whiskey.
So YouTube user did say he got a 404 code on the QR code. And
thank you, Life from the Patio.
Thank you
First
so
time
much.
here. Welcome. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, that's awesome avatar too, man. That's awesome. Scroll up a little bit.
I'm sorry, I'm coughing. How far?
Up a little bit, up a little bit, up a little bit. Somebody said they got a 404 code. We were using the QR code that was sent to us by Zbiotics, but if that doesn't work, the link in the video description 100% will work. I did check that one.
Oh, for the Zbiotics?
Yeah.
Oh, we should check the QR code.
Yeah. I just used what they sent me.
Okay.
So that's a bummer if it doesn't work, but that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So first things first.
Walt.
Thank you so much. Let's get the party started.
Hey,
let's get it started right here. So first up, we're going into the Michter's flight, but before we get into that, we need to warm our palates up.
Yes, I haven't had a drink all day, so I definitely need to warm up.
We are going to try a little Old Forester 1924 for you guys.
There we go.
So 10 years old. Massive thanks to Justin Williams for this one. Love that guy. I mean, he brought over a Jack Daniel's 10, and him, and I blinded this and the Jack Daniel's 10.
Yep.
And we all three picked this.
Yeah.
It was
they were both good, but we all three picked this one.
Right. It was a little sweeter and a little less funky. The Jack Daniel's had a little oak funk on it that this didn't have.
To me, I said the Jack. I didn't know it was the Jack, but whatever it was a little sharper to me. Yeah. You said funk. I got like sharpness.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's
get it on the nose. Let's start working.
Do I have to? Can I just drink it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I'm just making sure my nose and palate are smelling and tasting whiskey correctly before we get into this flight.
I'm fine. I just want to drink it. Oh, it's good. I really like this.
So, I mean, it definitely smells like exactly what you think it would smell like. It smells like an Old Forester product that has some age on it. There's nothing groundbreaking on the nose and spoiler or the palate of this one.
However,
but it is very, very enjoyable, though.
I will say, for 100 proof, it comes across with mucho flavor.
Yeah,
more flavor than I expect out of 100 proof, I think is what it.
Well, and that is your first sip today, so that could be a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's not my first sip ever, though.
That's fair. I mean, checkmate. What can I say to that? So, yeah, I mean, off the nose, I'm just getting really classic Brown-Forman, cherry, vanilla, oak, brown sugar, but really vanilla forward to me. So Michael asks, does it have to be super chats where YouTube takes its cut, or can we send you money via Venmo? We have Venmo, so that could and would work. We just have to know that you sent it so that we can let Greg know to put it in. Yeah,
that's true. Because Greg it tracks all the super chats to be entered into the giveaway.
And YouTube does take some, but it's convenient.
It's not a lot.
We look at it as like a convenience fee.
Yeah. So that's up to you, Michael.
So Scott has a good point. He said, I'll buy one 1924 when I see it. However, I can get two 1920s for what this bottle costs. Russell's 10 is 40 in my area. So come on, OF. Yeah, I think obviously that's the biggest criticism. And a lot of tonight's going to be talking about some of the things that are going on in the whiskey tube space and the whiskey space in general. And the price tag on this is incredibly controversial for a lot of people. Now, with that said, a lot of people are paying as much as this costs at retail at markup for Jack Daniel's 10. So if that were the case, I would buy this before I would buy Jack Daniel's 10. I'm a huge Jack Daniel's fan.
You are.
And I would buy Jack Daniel's 12 over both of them, but I would buy this over Jack Daniel's 10. Mike says put it in a double blind with regular OF 100. Yeah, that would be, I mean, it's gonna, smart. I think in my head, it would stand out quite a bit, but it might, who knows? It might stand out for the worse.
It might not. I think that's a good idea. I think we should do that. Rick wants to know if it's worth $120 price tag. I mean,
I got an answer for this.
Go. If
you want this bottle on your bar, that is what it costs. and therefore it would be worth it. If you're talking about, does the whiskey in the bottle drink like $120? No.
Yeah.
It does not.
I'll agree.
It just doesn't. I mean,
it's good, but it doesn't drink to be $120 good.
Yeah. No. Yeah. David Selby saying once. Yeah. That's where it comes down. Like maybe, we're in the first, we've had, I don't know, a few pours out of this bottle so far, done a blind with it. It's one of those things that maybe if we work our way through this whole bottle, do some blinds with it, enjoy it over time, maybe we can come around on that, but it's hard for me to pay $120 for anything that's 100 proof. Like I would rather have like a Calumet 16 at 140 or 50.
Thank you, Whiskey Dale.
Than this at 120. That's what I would, if I was, where am I going to spend my money?
This is a good point. It's worth the price as long as you get to share it.
There you go.
Preach. That's what I think that's so true.
And that's what some of these bottles are fun for. Like our local Total Wine just dropped this today, I think. They stocked the shelves with it. So
sorry, y'all.
I find this really, really pleasant. And I did see that somebody said it kind of had a funk on it, and it does. I mean, it's got a little funk from the oak. It does not have a real banana forward note like Old Forester tends to have. That's more muted. The vanilla is more amped up from the extra time in the barrel. And there's a little bit of a cherry note that some Old Forester can get in it sometimes that I feel like is a little bit more prevalent here. So dial down the banana candy sweetness from regular Old Faux, pump up the vanilla and the oak. Pump up the oak, pump it up.
Pump it up. Yeah, pump it. Pump up the jam, pump it up. Oh, place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Thank you, Mark, for making me stop singing.
I like Michael here, so Greg can get him in.
Yeah, you said Old Faux.
Old Faux, Old Forester.
I know, but it just sounds weird.
Can you highlight Michael as this chat so that Greg can make sure? There we go. Greg, you got it? Greg said you did actually hit that pretty well.
Thanks.
She can sing.
I'm not as tone deaf as Josh.
I'm terribly tone deaf. I think we have a video coming up that I was editing, and you started singing, and then I started singing, and you were like,
totally messed
your
me
tone
up.
Threw me off.
Yeah. Well, if somebody isn't, I can match like what other people are doing, but if someone next to me is singing off, then I get thrown off too. Like I remember when I would sing in like choir and stuff, my friend Karen would sit next to me and she was an alto, and I didn't know the alto parts except if I listened to her. And then if I listened to her, I could do it exactly, but I couldn't hear it on my own.
Yeah. Great point. David Selby said the Bourbon Judge was saying it's a different mash bill, and it is. It is the early times mash bill.
What is a different mash bill? The
Old Forester 1924. And so imagine like Old Forester. Actually, that's probably the better blind, not Old Forester 100, but Early Times Bottled and Bond versus that. Even though Early Times Bottled and Bond is going to be changing when Sazerac stuff gets 4 years old for them to start putting in it.
Okay.
But right now they still are using, like they got stuff from Brown-Forman when they bought the brand. When Sazerac bought the Early Times brand, they bought the existing stock that they had. And so, yeah, I mean, it's definitely closer in flavor profile. It tastes more like a 10-year Early Times than it tastes like a 10-year Old Forester Signature 100. That's a great point because you get the brown sugar, you get the cherry, you get the amped up vanilla. And Stephen Waltz is correct. Early Times and King of Kentucky are the same mash bill.
Oh, interesting.
But it's way more like Early Times, and it is not like King of Kentucky. It is not. So, all right, let's get these in frame so people can see.
So we are drinking different samples of what?
So these are all Michter's 10-year bourbon from 2023. Okay.
Oh, they're all from 2023.
Yeah.
Cool.
And real quick, I want to give a thanks to Joel Gross, North Shore Whiskey, Nathan Jurgensen, Zach Butler, Griff, and Matt Burns for making this happen. We do not have a bottle of this product. We did have a 2020, and it was just meh. Maybe I can just set that there.
No.
So people know.
It's in the way.
But people know. Maybe I'll put it over here.
It's fine. They can use their ears.
Maybe I'll put it over here before I promptly knock it off in a minute.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not paying
You're
attention.
told. Just please don't. Please don't. We're gonna take that.
Oh, well, she took it from me.
It's not gonna go well for anyone, except for the viewers. It'll be really funny for them, but
right.
I don't want to have whiskey on.
I do need some elbow room
on our rug.
anyways.
You are very like floppy with your hands when you talk. So I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just keeping it real, okay?
I would like to say I'm expressive, but she says I'm floppy with my hands.
Well, the amount of times you've hit me, and actually you ruined the previous.
Hold on, you can't say
you ruined the previous version of this sweatshirt.
You can't say what you just said and not clarify to people.
What did I just say?
You said the amount of times I've hit you.
Oh, you've hit me with your hands while you're talking.
And you just went on to something else.
Because you're so expressive. And I remember the time you were working with a fountain pen and you were just like doing something, flinging it, and it got ink. It got ink on the first version of this gray sweatshirt, and I had to order a new one. That was the end. That's my story.
You got people.
That's it.
You got people out here ready to.
Josh doesn't hit me. He loves me. He's a lovely man. But he does use his hands a lot when he speaks.
And sometimes I accidentally booper on accident.
It's okay.
All right, so let's talk about it, guys. We're gonna do the Michters first. So
okay.
If the internet is not lying, then the 3 samples in here that are 23A neck tag samples, which, can I actually see that bottle?
Yeah.
So on the neck tag of Michter's 10-year bourbons, up here, it will say
I'll hide my face.
Like the year, and then it will have a code to indicate the month. And what everybody is saying is that the 23A samples are the best, like light years better than every other sample. So we've got somewhere in here in this blind, I don't know what's what, but I do know that we have 3 23A samples, and we have 3 other samples that are not 23A samples. We have a B, a D, and an E.
Okay.
So AAA, BDE.
AAA, BDE.
Yeah.
AAA, BDE.
So, yes, that's what we have in here.
Okay.
We're going to taste them. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, the internet, according to the internet, the 23As.
It's a baddie. BAAADE. Baddie.
Greg saw it. Greg picked it up. He picked up what I was putting down. Oh, yeah. That's smart. That's worth super chatting for to let people know. I actually need to do that myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and we're going to talk some 13th Colony as well. And I think I've got something. I'm not going to break any new ground on the facts that are out there, but from just a pure perspective standpoint, I've got something to talk about that I haven't heard anybody else talk about. So we'll do that after we do the Michter's thing to give ourselves a little bit of a break before we get into the ECBPs.
Okay.
But we're going to taste these. Now, it is important to note that all Michter's 10-year bourbons are single barrels. And the 3As that we have are not the same single barrel. They're different single barrels.
So they can be totally different.
Right. So if the internet is telling the truth, the internet's not lying.
We all know the internet tells the truth.
Then
we all know that.
The 3A samples should come out on top, and then the other 3 samples should be well behind that. Now, here's the best wrinkle of all. One of the 23A samples is a sample that we've already tried before in a blind head-to-head against Michter's 2021 bourbon, 10-year bourbon, on the channel in a video a few months ago, and it blew me away. It blew me away, and that sample's in here along with 2 other 23A samples. Okay. So I don't know how functional tasting notes are going to be, because we kind of know what we're going to be getting with all of these. We know they're Michter's 10-year bourbon. We know they're going to be brown sugar, heavy vanilla, tons of oak.
We don't know that.
Okay.
I don't get any of that. I might not get brown sugar. Don't be putting stuff in my head.
Okay, that's fair.
That's not fair. I don't like that.
Okay, that's fair. Sorry about that. Oh, thank you so much, man.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
First live stream. Welcome.
Cheers.
Oh, thank you. Getting that.
Nice.
Yeah, getting that raffle for the giveaway.
Gakins. Cool. Gakins S in there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks for being a part of the channel.
Here. Thanks for joining us.
All right. So we'll mainly be speaking more to the differences and kind of just doing like a loose and dirty ranking here. Like, we're not going to, we got a lot of stuff to sip. We're not going to go crazy here. But like, if the internet's telling the truth, then it should stand out like a sore thumb. Which ones are the A's? There should be 3 of these are head and shoulders above the others.
Okay.
So,
can I just
you can go ahead and get into it.
Okay.
And I know you have your process, so I'll let you just run through it and do your process. Okay.
Okay.
And if you have anything to say about any of them, that would be helpful. But the way Erin typically works is she kind of rifles through a lot quicker and gets her just gut impressions without talking. And then that's kind of how she does flights. Yeah. I'm a little bit more like glass by glass. Let's talk about it.
He's a little more probably what real whiskey drinkers do. I just don't do that, I guess.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is that the fact that they're all single barrels makes it the most interesting. Later, when we're doing the Elijah Craig barrel proofs and we're analyzing laser codes, that has been confirmed by Elijah Craig that those are all the same batch. And the reason that that's going to be interesting is that even though they are the same batch, they are bottled on different days. So you're looking at a week's span, like weeks long, multiple weeks. That's what I'm trying to say. Multiple weeks span of the time in which they were bottled. So time in the tank before they got bottled, more time to linger. I will say, I'm going to tell you guys my expectations of this going into it. Thank you, Tom, so much. My expectations, having been a person that has tasted a fair few single barrels in my time, my expectations that these Michters, they will be quite different, but have a similar profile.
First two already are.
Yeah. So, but do I have any anticipation that the 23As will come out on top? I don't. They very well may, or they could not. I don't have any bias whatsoever. I'm literally just as curious as you guys. I've seen a lot of people online talk about this. I haven't seen anybody actually do a blind tasting of it. So, and if they have, it's maybe only been 1 or 2, like an A versus something else. Well, that's as much as could be single barrel variants, you know?
Yeah.
Like we need for the internet to not be lying. We need the 3 A's to be the top 3.
I'm going to pick my top 3 and my bottom 3. I'm not going to do first, second, third.
Yeah, that's fine. So I actually haven't seen anybody do any of these blind tasting. When we get into the Elijah Craig later, I have seen people do blinds with those, but I've only seen 2 products, one A22 laser code, one A23. And the best one I've seen is the Bourbon Junkies, where they did a triangle blind where 2 were in the same tasting. And in that video, a lot of different people did that tasting. And most people did put the later bottlings, the A23 laser codes, first. However, the one person that knew what they were tasting was Dan Shook, and he put the A23 first and the exact same bottle last in the same tasting.
Interesting. So
that tells you how much splitting of hairs this is.
So I do want to say, in my opinion, whatever is in this glass is the most different from all of them.
Okay.
Interesting.
Sure. And that's your least favorite.
I think it's in my bottom 3, I think.
Okay.
I don't know though. They're all pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like none of these, I wouldn't turn down any of these.
James hit the nail on the head. James, Aaron, yeah, it's good. Josh, wow, this has a complex profile and such a group of layered flavors. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. And that's what we always like to bring you guys, you know, like Aaron doesn't think too hard about this stuff. She knows what she likes and she's very true to that, but she doesn't really get bogged down in a lot of the nerdy stuff.
I'm just here to have fun with people.
Right. And her palate is a lot better than she would admit to being. Like her palate's really good. Mm-hmm. Like if you guys caught the Knob Creek 12 video versus Knob Creek 9 on the channel on Thursday, she picks it up and she's like, oh, I'm getting like, oh, this smells good. It smells sweet. I'm getting a peanut butter note. And I'm like, I wasn't even getting that until she said it. And then I was. So.
Oh, this is harder than I thought it would be. I thought I'd be able to be like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I definitely have my bottom. I know 2 in my bottom 3.
Okay. So Mike Ackley says, I think if you were lucky enough to score a bottle, just enjoy. Now, here's what I will say. Mm-hmm. I do agree with that statement. And I will say that the one bottle that I did get to try, which is the 23A bottle from Nathan Jurgensen, that one to me, like, I know what secondary is. And if I could get that exact single barrel, I would be willing to do it. I'd be willing to pay it because it to me was an incredibly impressive whiskey.
I have my ranking, but I want to go on record saying.
All right, I'm going to put your results over here.
Okay, my top 3
are A, D, and E.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, since we have like different codes, let's refer to the glasses by number. Yeah. So glass.
However you want to do it.
1, 4, and 5.
Okay. I liked all of them. The only one that I would say that was a definite on my bottom 3 was glass 2. The other 5, it was kind of splitting hairs.
Okay.
Like it was splitting hairs between the other ones, like if they would be on the top or the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, Tom, that's a great point.
What?
Oh, can you highlight Tom's chat?
In a minute.
I would love to compare. I get the feeling it's the difference between hitting a Pro V1 and a Pro V1X golf ball. It would be something like crazy subtle like that.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to really be paying attention. So, all right, I've got Aaron's here.
Okay.
Now I'm going to work through them and we can talk about them.
Yeah, Josh will give you more tasting notes than I
will. Man. Now look.
He's more entertaining to watch drink whiskey than I am, I'm not going to lie.
Let's be honest. Before we did that blind with the 2023 sample from Nathan Jorgensen and the 2021 sample from Mike James, the only experience we have with Michter's 10-year bourbon was 2020 and before. And the 2021 from Mike James, while very good, would not sway me to change my opinion that Michter's 10-year bourbon is an overrated, overhyped product that is not worth retail.
What's retail?
170, I think.
Okay.
The
$20
mini doll hairs. The 2023 sample that I tried literally blew me away. Like it was very, very special whiskey.
But was it because you knew you were drinking the 2023?
No, we were double blind.
Oh yeah.
It blew me away.
In our video.
And then I had a little bitty bit of George T. Stagg 2022 left. A little bit. And then I drank the George T. Stagg. And then I took a drink of the Michter's 10-year bourbon, which is 138.7 proof versus 94.4. And while, yes, the Michter's was lighter.
Wait, the Michter's was 94.
Yes. Okay. The Michter's was lighter in like impact, but it tasted older than the George T. Stagg. Like it had more sweet oak, more like kind of that musty rickhouse oak than the George T. Stagg had on it, which was amazing. So Michael asked, is anybody going to watch the 49ers Lions game later so I don't get any spoilers?
Do we?
It's on right over here.
Yeah, but there are people in the chat that may not want to know.
Yeah.
So
all right, let's get into this.
Let's maybe not do game updates for people who are watching it later.
So, hey, real quick, we do have a giveaway going, and we have 138 people in chat. Hit that like if you want to. So if you want to do a super chat and get in on everything you've got down here, a couple of ECBP samples so you can see for yourself about laser code differences.
Yeah.
Plus 3 other pours in the flight.
Plus our newest barrel pick that we just picked yesterday.
Plus a 13th Colony Double Oak, because we got to talk about that controversy.
Yeah.
And we've got we also have a sample of our latest barrel pick that just happened Friday.
Brian says, sorry, the real question is if things taste so close to each other, then why pay extra for a bottle? Good point. That's the problem I have. I have to fight with them all the time. Excuse me, I'm running out of breath. Yeah, I think that is why we even started doing blinds, like as our main source of content, was because just goes to show like some things don't cost as much but can taste just as good.
Yeah.
When you don't know the name or the brand attached to what you're drinking.
The Whiskey Sergeant Tony asked, are these differences big in taste? You can tell because I haven't.
I didn't think so. I think the only one that could be qualified as big in taste to me was the second one I tried. And the only reason I say that is because I got a pink eraser note on that one that I didn't get on any of the other ones. That was the differentiator for me. So I don't know what made that happen, but that's why I called that one the most different. But you could kind of tell that they were still in the same family. However, if I didn't know these were in the same family, would I say that? I don't know. I'm not that keen. Like, I'm not that good at picking that up.
All right. So I'll say on the first one, big nose on it for I mean, look, I got a big nose, so I know a big nose. Big nose. It's got a lot of like cherry cordial sweetness, sweet oak, brown sugar, heavy vanilla. On the palate, it's very like cherry cola effervescent. It feels, I've only had Michter's 2023 10-year bourbon once, and one of these samples is that one. That does not remind me of what I had. That reminds me of something that's more bright.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the depth or the richness as the one I had. That's a little bit more bright, a little bit more sparkly on the palate.
It is sparkly.
Oh, man. I surprised myself with that one.
It's got jazz hands.
Two's got a lot of depth on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it almost has like a hairspray on the nose. Like there's like a weird,
like the aerosol kind, or the whatever.
Like the aerosol kind.
Oh.
It's almost like deep oak and aerosol hairspray, which I like that smell. I don't know, like, yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of hairspray. I'm sure they
like
smell a lot different.
Aquanet. Did your grandma used to use
something like that?
Yeah.
It smells old. It smells like old school.
Yeah.
Huh.
What do you think?
Man, that's a little thin, and it's got a little like weird funk on the palate.
Mm-hmm. That's the one I got Pink Eraser.
Yeah,
on.
it tastes like, and you're saying Pink Eraser, and what it's hitting me like is like watered down barrel char.
Oh, okay.
It's like somebody dumped the barrel and then ran water through the barrel. That water picked up barrel char and it's kind of gray in color, and then they used that water to cut the bourbon.
Interesting. Oh, thank you, Steve. You're good. You're good on the penny. You don't have to send us a penny.
No, you're all good.
We'll spot you a penny.
We just know you're on an Apple device, which we do support. So
yes, yeah. Thank you.
Oh, the noses on all these are great, but the palates so far are wildly different. Oh. All right, so this one has the most of the first three. It's got the most like it's got a lot of vanilla, and it kind of has like this, like, I don't know, like, I don't want to say light fudge. What am I talking about?
Light fudge. How is fudge light?
You know how, like, when you go into like downtown Nashville, like they've got the fudge, but some of it's like brown and some of it's kind of tan.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
I kind of get that on the nose here. It's like light fudge, cherry, and a lot of like a vanilla cream soda almost, because it's not like a bright vanilla.
It's like the more I think about not coughing, the more I have to cough. Can you mute for 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
We're good. Man, we're back.
Here's the wild thing. So far, none of these are striking me as special as the time I had it before.
Interesting.
And I came into this with the expectation that they were going to impress me, because that's what it did for me before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Old Forester tasted exactly like it tasted the other day. My palate seems to be tracking.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're regular.
What glass was that? 3?
Mm-hmm.
So Mike B said, I found it interesting that Cam at Drums and Drams mentioned there is a $125 upcharge in secondary for the A barrels. So regardless of what may be fact, people are believing the rumors. Well, that's what we're here to find out, if it's true or not. Haven't seen anybody do this. Cam is as whiskey nerdy as it gets, and I appreciate that, because I am also whiskey nerdy, but Cam cares a lot more than I do. Like, Cam is really into the details, and I'm like, that's interesting, but at the end of the day, it probably doesn't matter all that much. But Cam is like, he really, really gets into it. And Cam also does a really good job of articulating things. And I think that yeah, I know this for a fact. Like when you put content on the internet, you can say and mean something, but people hear what they want to hear. People infer things into what you say. And so
if you're not explicitly clear.
Right. And even then, Cam is very clear, very well spoken. Like his brain is a supercomputer. I think he's actually AI. I don't think he's actually a real human being. And I think that, that's a whole nother topic of discussion. But he is incredibly articulate. I'm an idiot in comparison to him as far as like being able to like articulate and enunciate and get my point out in the way that he does. But what I can do is I can taste these and tell you if the 3 A's come out on top or not. And he hasn't done that yet. So I haven't seen any channel do it yet. So that's what we're here for. He did do like 2 samples, I think, an A and an F, I believe. And the A was markedly better for him, but it's a single barrel. Like I've literally been on barrel picks and tasted 2 barrels that have sat next to each other in a rick house with the same distillate in the same barrel that were put in the barrel at the same time, aged for the same amount. Like literally everything's identical. The barrels are sitting next to each other. Tasted both of them, and they taste completely different because there's so many other factors at play. Like they're not using the same wood for the barrels. There's maybe that one position over is that much warmer or colder or whatever.
Like the char was like a half a second longer or something.
There's just so many, even down to the wood that's used for the barrels. You can't replicate whiskey 1-to-1.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be differences, and so that's why tasting is important. And that's why, when somebody says that the A barrels are better, but they haven't done a blind to verify that, or just done 2 barrels, 2 barrels does not equal a good sample size. You really need multiple. You need to do what we're doing here,
Thank you, Les. We appreciate you. So you're still on 3?
Yeah, I'm going to call that one Oak Cola.
Oak Cola.
Oak Cola.
Oak Cola.
Which is, coincidentally enough, that's the name of our Jack Daniels barrel pick. I got to work on the sticker for that.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Is that coming out soon?
It should be soon. Maybe like March or so. All right. So far, first 3 have not impressed me, which is kind of a bummer because I was really... The one expectation I had for this is that they would all taste different because they're all single barrels. So far, we're tracking. But they would all taste like they're from the same distillery, which so far we're tracking. And that I was expecting at least half of them to impress me. And so far...
Well, you only had half.
We're 0 for 3.
But you have 3 more to go.
Oh, the nose on 4. The noses just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, the noses are great on all of them. The palate's great on all of them, too. I just think for whatever reason, Glass 2 had that weird funk on it that I didn't love.
Yeah.
In comparison to the others. I think if I had it on its own, it wouldn't have bothered me as much. But in comparison to the others, I think it stood out more, the funk.
Yeah. Like when you say the palate's great, I'd say the flavor is good, but it just tastes like too much water has been added.
Are palate and flavor not the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I think it's just they're a little too watered down.
Well, they are. Water has been added to these for proofing down purposes, not by us.
Mm. 4 has more pop on the palate, more spice, more like cinnamon tingle, baking spices, black pepper sensation on the palate compared to the first 3. It's got a little bit of it's got jazz hands in 4.
It's kind of dry.
So. It is dry. It's the most dry that we've had yet.
Yeah.
And it's not like a sweet oak. Like the first 3 kind of had this sweet oak profile. This is more like dry old wood.
Sounds delicious. Sign me up. Actually, it was in my top 3, so
yeah,
you can sign me up. Have you had any water yet?
No, I'm gonna get through the first round and then I'm gonna go back, have a little water, and verify my results.
I need you to hydrate in between.
So Kim S says just open, and we're going to talk about this. I can't wait because that's going to be our palate warmer upper for I'm sorry, got distracted by Michael's.
Hey, focus.
Kim said, just opened the S&W MVP pick from Friday. I still can't get over that finish. Wow. Yeah, we are going to taste that to get our palates ready for the barrel proof stuff later. And I can't wait to try it because the flavors are, we're calling it Sunday brunch because it's like French toast and berries and powdered sugar and just, at least that's what it was during the pick.
Maple
syrup drenched over it. And then the nose was incredible, like just jumping out of the glass. And then the finish was like, it wasn't the strongest finish because typically you need a lot of proof to drive. We should talk about this later. Yeah. The finish is
okay.
Extraordinary. I was going to say incredible and extraordinary at the same time. And my brain shut down.
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
Also, Michael.
Extredible.
I'm sorry. This is funny. Touche.
Oh, glass 5.
Oh, thank you, Dual.
Thank you so much. These noses are getting better and better and better. So there's definitely a big difference on the palate in a lot of these.
Yeah, Dual says just takes a while to realize you're paying for those subtle nuances. Hard to blow another bourbon off the table.
But here's the thing. Right now, I'm on the 5th glass, which means I've almost surely tasted 1A. 123A, and there's not one that's standing out.
And I think that's the thing.
They're all different,
subtle
but not one standing out.
Nuances people pick up differently unless your palate has been trained. I feel like different people pick up nuances differently or different nuances on different things, which is why taste is so subjective, in my opinion.
That's the best one so far, and it's not close. That's very good. Wow. Now that's the first one where I've had a wow factor.
Wow.
Man, that's got like, it's just got the cherry cordials, like Luxardos. It's got like almost like a little bit of like a praline thing, like light on the nuts. I say praline sometimes, and like
I still don't know what that means when you say it.
It's like caramel chocolate nuts. It's almost like a candy bar, but it tastes a little bit more artisanal. You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. There's just a place I used to deliver to in downtown Nashville. I used to be a UPS driver, still work for the company, but I used to deliver for them, and I would deliver to a place in the arcade, not the arcade, but Butler's Run,
but on 2nd Avenue.
It was a praline place.
Yeah.
Dude, this is so good.
As for your preferred bourbon palate, would you rather taste a cherry cola or a peanutty caramel forward bourbon, aged around 10 years? Ooh. Honestly, for me, it depends on my mood. I want to say peanutty caramel probably would be what I would lean towards just naturally. But honestly, I don't know. Cherry cola, I could be in the mood for that on certain days.
Yeah, cherry's a real divisive note for me. If it goes medicinal, like a cough drop or especially cough syrup.
But you said cherry cola.
But if it's cherry cola and it has the oak to back it, the dark flavors to back it,
yeah,
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
But where cherry cola messes me up in a flavor profile is if it's cherry cola without the dark oak and without the brown sugar to back it.
And it's just kind of
then it's just like this bright light
fizzy,
thing,
yeah.
And then I'm out.
Yeah.
And I'd rather give me the candy bar.
Yeah, I agree. Love your reviews. Stay hydrated. Mike says stay hydrated.
Oh, I'm hydrating up.
Be like Mike.
I've been pounding water today.
Isn't that a saying from Michael Jordan? Be like Mike.
Oh, these last two are bringing it.
Yes.
Yeah, be like Mike.
Be like Mike.
This one has a little banana on it. This is like banana split.
My first NBC bottle tomorrow from Matt Porter.
Yeah. I want one too.
Good luck.
All right. Glass 5 is my winner right now. That's really good too. I think that to me is kind of on par with like 1 and 3.
Yeah. That one was hard for me. That one I ended up going into my bottom 3, but it was very close. Like I wish I could have done my top 4.
Yeah, it just doesn't have like the brown sugar is it's not bringing the brown sugar as much as I wish it did, you know?
Sure.
That's more like cherry cola but without the depth and richness of the brown sugar. Like this one to me tastes the oldest of the bunch, and maybe this one, maybe 3 and 5 taste the oldest, or sorry, 4 and 5 taste the oldest. And then the other 4 are just good. Man, where would I rank that?
Well, I don't know. Where are you ranking it?
All right. I've got an initial ranking. I'm going to sit back through them and see if that's verified after I get some water. Of course, he's got plenty of water in him anyways, right? Like I'm hydrating.
No.
I'm hydrating while I'm drinking.
No, sir. No, sir, you are not. You need to hydrate with H2O. H2O concentrate.
All right. Man.
So you have your ranking?
Ballpark. I do want to sit back through them to make sure. I think you and I do have in common 2. Like I think glass 1 and glass 5 are both very good. I think glass 5 is a cut above. I think glass 5 is the one that stands out from all of this as the best pour on the table. All right, I think glass 2 is the worst.
Ooh, James got 2 bottles on Rare Breed non-chill filtered.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy. That's my favorite.
Oh. Well, we already determined the nose is good on all these.
Yeah.
All right. This is my least favorite. I said it was like watered down barrel char water had been used to cut it.
Okay.
And again, guys, I'm being pretty nitpicky. Like that's a very good pour. That's a very good pour. But I do think it is last place. Next up, I actually have one of your top 3, glass 4, which I thought was one of the oldest, but it's the way that it brings the oak to the table. That's a little bit, you know, I don't know. It's like I said, it was like dry wood instead of like sweet oak.
Yeah. So I'm turning this off.
Yeah, you can just hand it to me.
We don't want spoiler. No game spoilers, by the way.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, so I said this had spices that the other pours didn't have, which usually is the thing that I like more, but it was the way that the oak came through. Agreed. Better than the last one, but I don't think it's one of the best pours in here.
Okay.
I thought this one was better than those last 2. I thought glass 3 was better than 2 and 4. Oh, it smells incredible. This actually kind of smells a little bit like our Nashville Barrel Co pick.
You're gonna have to pick up the pace if we're gonna get all these done.
We're right on time.
Okay.
What's the next? We got a run of show down here. What's the next thing up?
9 o'clock. That's in 6 minutes.
6 minutes, and I'm doing the final ranking here.
It's gonna take you more than 6 minutes.
I'm right on track.
I know you, boo. It's gonna take you more than 6 minutes to do this. It's gonna take you more than 6 minutes. So far.
So what glass 3 has, and the reason it's beating out glass 4 just by a little bit, is it has more sweetness.
This one?
More sweet oak and more sweetness. More like sweet cherry. Whereas glass 4 has spice, which I like. It's the only one that has spice in this whole flight.
I think I didn't pick this one because it's pretty drying. I didn't like that.
But I thought it was 4 was more drying.
I don't think I did.
And then I'm going to go to 6, the one that was good but lacking the brown sugar depth I wanted. Man, that's really good. 6 is very good. I mean, that's one of my top 3. That's very good. Man, now
Elmore said you saw some Nashville. I'm assuming he means Nashville Barrel Company in my shops today. I guess I'll have to give them a move next time. They're fairly priced too.
Maybe, depending on what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, most of what they do is single barrels. So it's a little bit like if you don't know the palate picking it, you got to be careful about that.
Yeah.
Somebody could pick something that's kind of funky and off profile, but if it's just one of their regular batch products, it's probably going to be pretty solid. Yeah. All right, glass 1 was my second place. I said it had a cherry cola effervescence.
Cherry
cola. The nose is unreal. All right, here's what I'll say. I've sipped 5 of these. I mean, the difference is minimal. Like, there are differences. Like, if you're looking at...
oh, thank you, Tony.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Tony's wife.
Hey, cheers, Tony's wife.
You are both here, and we love that. I love it when couples watch.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
So it's like... it's very much like the slider analogy. Like if you're looking at an equalizer and it has different frequencies, you know, like the cherry frequency is bumped up a little on some of these and it's pulled down a little on others.
Gotcha.
The brown sugar is bumped up a little on some of these. It's pulled down on others. The oak is bumped up on some, pulled down on others.
Oh, good night, Weezer. We appreciate you being here. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments.
Yeah. Get that early morning work call, man. All right. Now let me actually see if glass 5 is just stupendous.
Stupendous.
Or if I'm just stupid.
You're not stupid. You're lovely. Let me try some.
Yeah, 5's a clear winner. 5's a clear winner, but it's when I say it's a clear winner, it's not like it's fantastic and all the rest of them are like garbage water, you know, like
they're all good. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't be mad at any of these pours.
Yeah.
They're all good. And again, to someone else's point, who was it that said about the nuances? Oh, I love a father and son couple. Billiam. I'm a sucker for that.
So check this out. For instance.
Wait, who was saying the nuances earlier? Because I commented about it.
We did a Nashville Barrel Company pick on Friday. The differences between those 4 barrels were much greater than the difference between these 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much greater. Like a lot.
Yeah.
And those are all very good too. This is tighter than that. Which is a testament to Michter's, right? Like their barrel selection and what they like, they're picking things that fit the profile of what they feel like their 10-year bourbon should embody.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job. These are all in the same, I don't know, like if you're on a dartboard or something, like they're all kind of in the same area of the dartboard, you know, like it's not like 3 are over here and 3 are over there, you know. That one just, to me, tastes the best because it's got the most richness and the most depth, and none of the other 5 have that. And 3 of these are A barrels, 23 A's, and there are not 3 pours standing out as head and shoulders above the rest in this to me. So let's go ahead and find out what's what.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Go ahead. Your least favorite?
My least favorite and your least favorite was glass number 2. The one that I said it had that little bit of watered down barrel char. Again, great product.
And that was the one I said had a little pink eraser that wasn't hitting me good.
If I could get any of these for MSRP.
I have to sneeze.
Cute sneeze. Okay. For my sneeze, I'd have to mute it.
Did you get the mute?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was too cute. I had to let it slide.
Oh gosh.
But
that's embarrassing.
I would pay retail for all of these. There's only one on this table that I would pay up for.
Oh wow. And it's this one I know.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's 2?
This is 23D from Griff. 23D 1285. Really good. It's got the most barrel char on it.
It's the most different, I think.
And it is the most different. Still really good, though. All right, next up, our rankings correlate pretty closely. So if you don't mind running with that, let's do that. 4, I said this was the spices and dry wood. This was one of your top 3, but it is my 5th place.
I will stand by that as my top 3, as one of my top 3.
This is the 23E from Matt Burns. Matt, I said this one tastes the oldest, and it had that spice that I liked. It's just the woodiness on it is like, it's drier than the others. But it makes it very interesting. Actually, if you want interesting, the bottom 2 are actually the most interesting. All All right, so Joel is saying in his 23A through F blind, the A is blowing the F out of the water. Easy to guess, just in the nose. Had to mix them up again between nosing and tasting. Yeah. James is saying sounds like a Wild Turkey profile. Kind of. Like it's more turkey-esque, the way the wood is kind of has that dry note. It's still really good. I love the spice on that. So one of your top 3, the spice almost put it there for me, but I like the sweetness.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
I appreciate that comment.
All right, so next up for me was 3, which I was really close to. Glass number 3, which I was really close to putting 4 above this, but this is glass number 3.
Yeah, and 3 was in my bottom 2, or my bottom 3.
And this is 23A from Nathan Jorgensen. This is the one that blew us away in the blind tasting.
It was just a little drying. Like a little more than I wanted, with less flavor to like counterbalance it for me. In comparison to these other ones.
Yeah. It's dark and rich, but it just doesn't have the depth that this one had. So, all right, there we go. Now we know, at least for me, an A is not in the top, but there are 2 A's still left. So the A's are finishing higher up, but again, it's not like night and day.
These 3 are.
I was going to say it was
bottom.
not light years and not night and day, and I just said it's not light, and then I just stopped talking.
It's not light and day.
It's not light. All right, next up for me, this was the one that was really good. It was just lacking a little brown sugar. This is 23B 0354 from Zach Butler.
Wait, which one?
6. This was not in your top 3.
It was not my top 3, correct.
Yeah. So far, your top 3 have been a 23E and a 23A. No, sorry. Well, yeah, okay, I just saw some. And then, well, I'm a dummy. All right, next up for me is glass 1. I said this one had the cherry cola effervescence. This is 23A 0248 from North Shore Whiskey.
That one was in my top 3, yeah.
That was in your top 3. So you had...
My top 3 was...
AAE. Your top 3 was AAE.
Aye.
My number 1, which I said, my notes were this were everything. And this was 23A from Joel Gross, who in the chat is saying his A is blowing the doors off of his F. Because
it's really good. It was my favorite. It was in my top 3 as well.
This is fantastic. Joel, this is a really great bottle. Wow.
Matt says, new shirt. Well, I'm a dummy.
All right, so that put my top 23A, 23A, and 23B for me. So I had 2 A's and a B. You had 2 A's and an E. And again, there we go. Are the A's better?
I mean,
maybe
statistically, according to this,
yeah. Statistically, according to this, I think we can say that they are
but not all A's.
Not all A's. And I think we can say that they are marginally better with some level of anecdotal certainty.
This highly scientific case study,
most A's,
clinical trial that we did.
Most A's might be marginally better than other barrels.
What was that Oral-B commercial where it's like 4 out of 10 doctors or 1 out of 10 dentists recommend 4 out of 10 dentists recommend Oral-B or something. 2 out of 3 drink A's are better than, or I don't know. Never mind. That was a fail. Abort the mission. Abort the mission. Tom says, makes you wonder if the A is the original and the other batches are copied.
No, they're all single barrels, so it should just be barrel variants.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Now, Nathan Jorgensen's theory.
Hey, yo, it's 9:04, 9:05. What?
There we go.
Who was right? This girl.
So Nathan Jorgensen's theory was that Michter's put out the A barrels to get them out to press people, to let them know how good it was. It's good, but like also the other ones are really good too.
Well, one of your favorite that you loved that you said was everything B? was A. No, it was this one.
Well, yeah, that 1A. That was the one that stood out better than the rest.
Yeah.
All the others, literally, I couldn't have picked the A's from they were so close.
I agree.
I had one standout pour that was an A. The rest, which also had 2 A's in it, did not stand out from the pack.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally splitting hairs here. So, it was 4th for me, Joel. He asked where the 3rd A ranked for me. It was 4th, and it was almost 5th because I was very close to putting Matt Burns's 23E over it because of the spice that it had.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why I did put it over it.
Yeah, I was very close. It was very close to being 5th for me. And that one blew me away previously. I do still have a little bit of these left, like about that much in the sample jars.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be probably tasting these randomly.
Drink
at some
your
point.
water.
Yeah.
Whoa, you all right there?
Yep. Almost knocked over my Malort. Boy, that would have been a shame, huh? Darn. Oh, darn, Bill.
Would have been a travesty.
Oh, darn. The Malort spilled. I can't. Looks like I'm out. Uh-oh.
We got to take one water receptacle and refill the other water receptacle.
Oh, Matt said his does have a rye note. I wish.
Michael said next time wear a lab coat so it'll seem more scientific.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the next controversy, and it's 13 Colony Double Oak. We'll bring it out, talk about it. By the way,
bring it out.
This is in the giveaway tonight. If you want to have it, if you want to get in.
Wait, backwards. There we go.
If you want to get in on the giveaway, just super chat. Any increment of $5 will get you entries. Simple as that. Super, super simple. We're going to have this in the flight. We're going to have 2 of the Elijah Craig barrel proofs, and there will be 3 other pours to make it interesting. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is going to stand out like a sore thumb, but the other ones will be very, very interesting.
In the best possible way.
In the best possible way.
Yeah.
And then in addition to this and the flight that's coming with it, I added in a 7th sample today of our brand new Nashville Barrel Company pick, as you can see down here on the ticker, Sunday Brunch. So you'll get 7 samples, 14 ounces of whiskey hand-delivered to your house via private courier service. You just got to let us know if you're the person that wins. We'll run a randomizer at the end. Greg will mix them up, and then we'll pick a number. He'll match that up to wherever you got mixed up on the sheet. Yeah. All right, so James is saying, full disclosure, the 15th anniversary is better than the Double Oaked. I've had it twice, but the 13th Colony people will all agree. All right, so.
Ooh, can I have some chopstick?
Yeah. Let's talk about the 13th Colony controversy.
Thank you.
Scott saying he's sipping on some Michter's 10B bourbon. Batch D. Hey, you're right there with us.
Yeah.
No, you got the good ones. You got the good ones. So we'll talk about when we get to ECBP. But an A22 won our best of the year. 13th Colony Double Oaked, okay? I think between what the Bourbon Junkies and Mash and Drum, if you guys watch them, I'd be stunned if you watch us and don't watch them. But Dan at the Bourbon Junkies talked about this kind of in depth, and Jason also went down there for a barrel pick. They addressed a lot of the rumors and accusations going on, and I just want to provide a little bit of perspective because there's a lot of.
Can you provide some story to people who may not know what's going on? Because I kind of don't know. I kind of know a little bit.
Right.
But...
So let me give our personal involvement here because our picture was used. So now I take it personal.
Our picture was used.
Our picture was used in the hit piece. I'm gonna call it a hit piece because that's what I believe it was.
There was a hit piece
on 13th Colony. Yeah, that's what I believe it was. That's what I believe it was. That's what I believe it was. I'm sure he didn't mean it like a hit piece. I'm sure he just meant it like a clicky article that would get attention, and that's exactly what it did. And I do agree, Stephen Walt. And I'm going to tell you why I agree with you, though. I don't think it's for the reason that most people will say.
Hold on. Please tell people what's going on.
Let's back up to our involvement. I learned about 13th Colony from Will and Grease over at the podcast. They had the 13th Colony bourbon and the rye. We got those, tried them on the channel.
No, I thought we heard about them from Troy and Lisa. Tool.
No, just the regular bourbon and rye I've heard about from Will and Grease.
Okay.
Then Troy and Lisa Toole lived down there near Americas. The 13th Colony Double Oak dropped, and Troy, who is an absolute saint, got a ton of bottles. Like I don't even know how many bottles he got
for our Patreon community.
For our Patreon community,
yeah.
I don't even know. He helped probably 24 people get their hands on that bottle within our Patreon community, and that's the sort of thing we do over on Patreon, helping each other out. He did that, We were all blown away by that. We made a video talking about 13th Colony products and how they were like this craft distillery that's big on the rise, blah, 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 blah. We make whiskey tube content. That's what we do, right?
Yeah.
So we made that video. And then this was one of the best bottles that we got this year. So we put it in our best year-end blind that only I did. And I talked about it was number 4 for the year for me in the blind. And I said, this is amazing craft whiskey, yada, yada. We shot that video on December the 2nd, I believe it was. That video came out like December, right before Christmas. Then I believe it was December 27th, a website called Bourbon Culture released an article that presented itself to be a news outlet. And when you see news outlets, you would assume that all the research has been done.
But in theory, it's a blog post.
It's a blog post.
Okay.
It might as well be an op-ed in whatever, it's not, it was not factually based. And this is what I want to be very clear about. I don't know bourbon culture.
An opinion piece?
It was an opinion piece, but it wasn't framed as that. It was framed very accusatorily, like 13th Colony was trying to hide things from people, when actuality, if you would have just done homework and went back, old blog posts from 10 years ago got pulled up where 13th Colony said exactly what they're doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just didn't know that they had contract distillation going on. I didn't know. So that's neither here nor there. I don't care. I frankly don't care.
We don't. But a lot of people use contract distillation. A lot of smaller craft distillers, when they're getting started, especially, use contract distilling.
Yeah.
Like that's just a thing.
Well, and here's the thing, like and then anyways, let me just say, the video came out, then that article came out, that opinion piece that was framed as a very accusatory, and the problem is that I don't have a problem with the guy's opinions if he framed them as such, but it was framed in such a way that it was made to seem factual.
Gotcha.
It was made to seem accusatory. And if you're going to do that to 13th Colony, you have every right. Okay. You can do that. But the problem is you need to also carry that same energy over to all the other distilleries that do the same thing. Like Michter's. Nobody knows where they source from. They do contract distillation and have been for years. I haven't seen a scathing article being accusatory towards them. Bullet has, if you look at Bullet's bourbon labeling, it's weird. There's a lot of people in the industry, a lot of big players in the industry that have a lot of things that would make you seemingly turn up your, like, wrinkle an eyebrow or something. Like, wait, why is it like that? Why don't they say where this was distilled at? Well, who knows why? Who knows why?
Yeah.
It could be non-disclosure agreements. I don't even care if it's not that, and they'd rather just not say. Yeah. I really don't care. Okay. Here's what I want to talk about regarding this. All the information is out there. 13th Colony has addressed this. That it's not going to change that guy's mind. It's not going to change people's mind who read his article and thought he was on to something, which is a weird thing to say. It's not going to change minds of people that came at me in the comments for calling it a craft distillery. Look, in my mind.
It is a craft distillery.
Well,
they source.
Right. But it is allegedly it's their mash bill. And like James would get into this even more. James Lay in the chat. But we're not, I'm trying not to get too deep in the weeds here.
Okay.
I'm trying to hit the.
I just don't really know a lot of the story. I didn't know there was an article. I didn't know we were in it.
Yeah.
No one told me this.
Our photo was in it.
I don't like,
but it said
like
it said all these YouTubers reviewing 13th Colony whiskey and not a single person saying it's trash is what they said. And then in the article it said that.
Well, if it was trash, we would say it, but it's not.
And if it's trash, we wouldn't even make the video.
If it's trash, we wouldn't drink it.
Right. We're not going to come on a video and drink.
We have way too much good whiskey in our house to drink trash whiskey.
Unless it's in a double blind head-to-head. But here's the thing. One of the articles was saying that no reviewer has ever said it tasted crafty. And that's not true, I don't think. I'd have to go back and watch our video, but I do get crafty notes on the bourbon and the rye. They are subtle. They're faint.
Not on the double oak,
not on the double oak, but on the bourbon and the rye, the 90 whatever proofs. They do have a slight touch of craftiness to it. And I believe we did say that in the video. To say that a YouTuber nobody has said that, that would be a lie. And that article was full of a lot of accusatory assumptions that were not grounded in facts. And look, he can have opinions all he wants, but where I start having issues is when you start presenting opinions as facts, because it's misleading to people.
Fair.
And I think he knew exactly what he was doing, and I think he did it because he knew it would get clicks. That's what I think. Because I didn't see him do it. I haven't seen him write these articles about other distilleries. And if you look to his website, you won't find these articles about other distilleries. So why he chose to target 13th Colony, the 13th Colony Double Oak's out there. It's hot right now. He knew it would get clicks.
Maybe.
And that's his prerogative. But I just don't like it when you present opinionary conjecture. That's not even a phrase that's real.
It is now. You just said it. You put it out into the universe.
Opinionated conjecture as facts is an issue.
Yeah.
That's a real issue. In our whole world, that's an issue. And it's not okay. I don't think that's okay. I don't think any of us should tolerate that, personally speaking. And now what happened is it stirs up the masses, and human nature is to gravitate towards this sort of stuff and get in on it. And then like everybody starts bagging on 13th Colony, and they start like the finger starts getting pointed and all this stuff. And it's ridiculous. Okay. So that's what happened. That's my opinion as to why he wrote the article. I think he got the exact response he wanted to get from it. He freely admits he never tried to contact the distillery.
Oh, really?
Yes. He just had this opinion piece. In addition to that, there was accusations made that coloring was added, which is a massive accusation.
Mm-hmm.
It is
because that can't.
Now you're tampering.
Yeah. Now like you're changing what this. You can't call it bourbon.
Now here's the thing.
Or whiskey.
This is very dark. Okay, but I got 5-year stuff from Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama. That's every bit as dark as this. That hasn't been double oaked. Okay. I've worked in a UPS warehouse in a Tennessee summer when it's 100 degrees outside in a metal warehouse surrounded by asphalt, and inside it's like 140 degrees and you're boiling, like.
So you're saying this is Georgia whiskey, so it's gonna be
Georgia whiskey.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot.
It's in a tin mattress warehouse. It's been aged on site the whole time, and it's been double oaked.
Yeah.
Woodford Reserve double oaked is crazy dark for a 90 proofer that's probably 4 years old. Yeah. Like, this is a 10-year-old double oaked Georgia whiskey. Like there's some Detling Alabama whiskey that's not double oaked. That's 5 years old. That's every bit as dark as this.
Yeah.
Like it color is a ridiculous thing to use to make such a large accusation as saying that additives were used. Also, Fred Minnick, a lot of people made a lot to do about Fred Minnick leaving this off of his top 100 list. This is why you have to pay so close attention to who is saying what. Fred Minnick doesn't like really oaky bourbons, and that's what this is. It is an oak bomb. Whatever Fred thinks is going on, whatever, he's not going to like the flavor of this. It's not his thing, Yeah. It's just not his thing. So a lot of people read into that. Here's what I want to say. That's the facts, right?
Yes.
Can you scroll up a little bit?
Yeah, I wanted to, before this goes away, I wanted to not to like interrupt your diatribe here, or whatever that dialogue. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Matthew says, love your content. Aaron, I got The Outside on a pour of 1910 a few days ago. I get it now. Yeah. Once you know, right? Once you know.
So Steven's point right there, he says the deal with 13th Colony is they aren't being transparent and use the excuses they won't explain themselves to bullies. They're not being transparent. That's true. To a point, like they're saying what they want to say, and they're not saying other things.
Same thing with Michters.
They're not telling who. Exactly. This is what I want to get to. Okay. When all these great reviews about this product came out, why were people buying it? I think I've laid out the facts.
Okay.
The facts are that 13th Colony has said that they contract distill. They said they don't use coloring. That was a wild claim that was made. And that article was full of a bunch of claims that were not founded in facts and that were kind of misleading in the way that they were presented. That's my opinion. But I think if you read it, you would see that. I think it created a little bit of a feeding frenzy and mass hysteria. I don't know what the point of the article was. Like, I'm a point guy. Like, I'm like, what's the point, right? Like, what's the point of writing that article? Is it to put pressure on 13th Colony to be transparent? If so, put pressure, call everybody out. Don't call one distillery out. Call everybody out.
Yeah.
Michter's is the worst offender of this. Do not give them a pass. Start at the top, work your way down. Be for real. Like, you know, like what are we doing here? Yeah. Why are we singling out, and the word bully was used. I don't even think it's that. Guys just trying to get clicks, whatever. You can't play favorites and go after some people and not go after other people. Call them all out or call nobody out. I think anything else looks shady. That's my opinion.
Fair.
Okay. Separate and apart from that, why are people buying this? Are they buying it because it's craft whiskey?
No.
Are they buying it because 13th Colony distilled it themselves? Are they buying it because 13th Colony contract distilled it? Why are people buying this? Why are they buying it?
Because they like the way it tastes.
Because it's good. Okay. So if you don't want good whiskey,
well, hold on,
don't buy it.
Well, that's the thing. If you don't like the way,
you can't buy it anyways.
If you don't like the way it tastes, then you don't have to buy it.
Yeah, we got lucky even getting a bottle. We got lucky, very lucky to get this bottle. 13th Colony didn't give it to us. We're gonna talk about this in a minute. We've never done a barrel pick at 13th Colony. I found out there's a lot of misconceptions about what picking barrels is all about.
Oh, interesting.
There's this whole group of people on the internet that think if you pick a barrel from somewhere that you are in business with that company.
Oh. That's not the case.
No. We don't have involvement with 13th Colony. We got lucky to get a bottle last year of the 2022 because Troy in our community said it was amazing, and I trust Troy. And then we got lucky to get this bottle this year from a local store who got one case, and I told them I knew it was coming out and I wanted to be on the lookout for one bottle, and I asked them for this as my one bottle for the year, and I got it. Very luckily. Okay. So.
Oh, there is a good point here.
I have no involvement.
No one would have bought that whiskey if Whiskey Tube hadn't promoted it as the best thing ever. That's why there's such a controversy. But the Whiskey Tube wouldn't have promoted it as the best thing ever if it didn't taste good.
Right.
To the people drinking it.
And look, nobody's going to change anybody's mind here.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind about what you think about 13th Colony and what they're doing. I'm just telling you, if the idea of the article was to put pressure on them to be more transparent, they're saying as much as they're going to say. So buy the whiskey or don't, but let's stop the witch hunt. If you want the whiskey, go buy the whiskey. If you want transparency, go buy Bardstown. If I have $150 and I can pick between this or a Bardstown Bourbon Company product, I love Bardstown, but I prefer the flavor of this, so I'm going to buy this.
Dave has a good point. Love you too, love the channel. But his last thing is, if the bourbon is good, buy it and drink it. Keep it simple.
Buy it, drink it, share it. And somebody told me that was reckless.
What?
Like somebody that was
share it.
No, to say that they said it was like lazy or something to just say like, oh, the bourbon's just good. That's just, you're just writing it all off or whatever. The
reason I drink whiskey is because I like the way it tastes.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of the other stuff. Yeah. I legit couldn't care less. If you, Joe Schmo, bottle it yourself and distill it yourself, I don't care. Or if you buy it from MGP, I couldn't care less. If it tastes like crap, that's when I care.
Yeah.
If it doesn't taste like crap, then that's great. Like, I don't think it's reckless. Like,
it to me, what it really comes down to is that, we're losing the plot.
Yeah.
With the plot has been lost. This what I'm going to call a hit piece. In my opinion, it's a hit piece. It is.
Also, we need to move on from this.
We will. It's full of a lot of conjecture and assumptions. They're laid out as factual statements, which I think is deceiving, and I think it's wrong. Just going to say that. That's my opinion. But it's taking target at one company and excluding all the other companies that do it. It's not a 13th Colony problem. If you think it's not a problem to me. Some companies tell you everything and some companies tell you nothing. I don't care. Is the whiskey good? I care about buying bottles, enjoying them, sharing them with people I love. That's it.
And I think that goes down to just what you value.
Right.
So Josh is saying he values what's in the glass.
Right.
Some people value more like transparency. Like I see this in other areas, in other like Whiskey Tube areas, as far as like, I'm a woman, I wear makeup, like makeup that's ethically sourced or vegan. Like some people, that is a big concern. Like I personally don't care if, this is going to sound bad, but I don't care if my makeup is tested on animals. It's just makeup, but some people do.
Yeah.
And I think for them to buy according to those values, 100% fine. I'm not going to try to change their mind, but they're also not going to change my mind. So I think that's the same thing with whiskey.
Right.
Buy according to your values. So if you value transparency in companies, then that's fine. You don't have to buy from 13th Colony, but there's also other companies that you probably also shouldn't buy from as well. If you value more what's in the glass and you like what 13th Colony has to do, then buy 13th Colony. Like it's where you place your values. And I don't think any one's wrong over the other. That article positioned, an opinion piece positioned as a news piece is, I don't believe, correct and right. But what you want to drink and what you choose to drink, that's totally up to you. And we can't convince you to drink otherwise.
Yeah. So real quick, scroll up a little bit. Brandon says, a top chef won't tell you how they make their signature dish. Why should a distiller feel obligated to tell you how they make their best whiskey? And look, if how they make it, if you want to know everything about it, to your point, if that stuff matters to you, just know there are companies out there that aren't going to give you that. Don't buy them. Vote with your dollars. But don't try to crucify the company publicly. I think that's where things get wrong.
Okay. We've made our point. We need to move on.
Can I say, this is funny because like this makes me equally as angry out of ridiculousness, and that's my opinion. I think it's ridiculous.
Okay. I'm going to take a restroom break and let you talk about this for a few more seconds. And then when I get back, we're going to switch topics. So, okay. BRB, guys.
So I knew somebody, and I'm going to tread on some light ground here. Don't hear what I'm not saying. Focus on what I am saying. I knew somebody who was so politically aligned that they would not watch movies with actors who shared a different political opinion than them, even though the movies that those actors were in were not at all anything to do with political matters. I just like good movies. I don't care. I'm just going to watch the movie. I don't care if I'm pretty apolitical anyways, but I don't care. I'm not going to deprive myself of seeing a good movie just because of somebody in it thinks something or another. I mean, to me that, like, if you don't want to, that's fine. And I think it's silly, but hey, more power to you, but, and if that's what this thing was, then that would be fine. If it's like, well, I just want more transparency, I'm not buying their stuff. Cool. Great. Good for you. I like good whiskey. I think it's good whiskey. I'll buy it. I'll share it with people I love. There we go. We're both happy now, right? Everything's cool. Everything's happy. We can, sit in a circle and sing Kumbaya, and you cannot drink my whiskey because it doesn't have transparency. It's the crucifixion of a company that you singled out that I think is a problem. And that's it. All right. And not just the one company. It's like,
we're moving on.
All right, we're moving on.
Moving on.
Speaking of,
we have more whiskey to drink.
Speaking of where people who get things that won't tell you where it's from, although we do know where this is from, but if it's one of their Kentucky bottles, they will not tell you where it's from. I don't care. It's some of the best whiskey I've ever tasted. Why would I not drink it? If you don't want to drink it because you don't know where it's from, that's cool.
All right. Yes.
That's cool.
Okay.
All right.
Let's drink.
We've had a nice little palate break. I've gotten worked up a little bit.
You did. You got me all like nervous and everything. You're going to go off on a tangent here. And I wasn't going to be able to reel you back in.
I don't know if I did Jason C over at Mash and Drum Proud with that rant, but yeah. So Greg is, speaking of, 20 minutes until cutoff for the giveaway. Which 13th Colony Double Oaks in that. You can decide how transparent you want it to be for how good the whiskey tastes.
Stop. Move on.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into this. Get our palates ready for some barrel proof stuff.
Okay. Also, I
know we went over.
We got to speed things up.
So this is our next barrel pick, which is, well, maybe not next, but it's coming out in a few weeks. Nashville Barrel Company, S&W MVP, 7 years old, 119.34 proof. Oh man. So, by the way, people think,
hey girl,
that if you're in contact with, or if you're doing barrel picks with a company that you're in bed with that company.
Meaning like you have to like always say that they do good things.
Yeah.
Like almost like they sponsor you.
I don't know.
No, I mean we pay them.
We don't accept. Yeah, we pay them for the barrel.
It's a transaction.
Right.
It's a transactionary relationship.
And here's what I'll be clear about.
They give us a barrel, we give them money, just like buying a bottle.
And here's the
it's just a lot more money.
Here's the misconception. The misconception that I saw was that people did barrel picks with 13th Colony, therefore people made money off of their product. I don't know if that's true, and I think that's a reckless accusation to make if you don't know if that's true or not.
Fair.
What I will tell you here is that we've done a fair bit of barrel picks. We've never marked a single one up above retail, which means the only people that do make money on it are the distillery and the distributor and the retail partner. We don't make a dime on doing barrel picks. The only time we've ever marked a barrel pick up over retail is
to give the money to charity,
to raise money for charity.
And it's very transparent that we're raising money for charity.
And every dime that was raised beyond the retail cost of that went to charity, not to us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't make money on barrel picks. We do barrel picks because we have a Patreon community that loves us and knows what our palates are like, and they trust that if we say a barrel is going to be good.
Did we pick this whiskey?
Yes.
This is dang good.
So, yeah, look, don't buy it if you don't want dang good whiskey. Don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
Don't buy
if
it.
you want some dang good whiskey and you like our channel and you know what our palates are like.
But we can't tell you exactly where it's from.
No, we can tell you on this one.
Oh, because yeah, we do know because can I say?
Yeah, it's MGP.
It's MGP, yeah.
Which is wild because we did 2 Tennessee picks last year. The legendary 1500 series picks about from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know where they're from. There's a lot of speculation as to where they're from. It's a whole thing, right? Those were, especially to me, Swag Junior, one of the best bottles ever for me. Period.
Yep.
Picked that with Matt Porter from ADHD Whiskey.
Dude,
we're gonna get on with it.
Matt Burns has a bedtime, and we need to respect his bedtime and my bedtime.
Yeah, we are. But when you interrupt me, it makes me take longer to get the point out because now we got to have this whole dialogue back and forth. So, anyways,
stop talking.
I'm trying to. Are we talking about this or not?
Okay, go.
So I talked to Nashville Barrel leading up to this pick, and I was like, we love Swag Junior, we loved the People's Bourbon, those 1500 series runs of Kentucky barrels. We love them. We want those in our pick, but keep us on our toes. And we talked to them, they're like, we're looking forward to beating that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's crazy talk. You're not going to beat it. Just give us something good, please. And so we went back and forth a little bit. The barrel pick was 1 MGP and 3 of those Kentucky barrels. And this was, I believe, unanimously the winner.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much better this was than the other 3 Kentucky barrels, which blew me away. Erin's adjusting her fan over here. Did you turn it up?
I'm trying to get it to hit my face.
Okay, but did you turn?
No.
You didn't turn okay.
No.
I don't want to hit
I just adjusted the volume. Oh, it's on my face.
Yeah.
My face is hot.
You're going to be Beyonce, hair in the wind. But this barrel trounced the other 3 barrels. The finish on this thing, let me just taste it. We call it Sunday Brunch because it's got this French toast, powdered sugar, maple syrup, berry compote, kind of amalgamation of flavors. Yeah. The nose is jumping out of the glass.
And the finish lasts.
It's 119 proof. It hits the front of the palate. Swag Junior that we picked last year kicks down the door.
Mm-hmm.
It busts in and it takes over everything. This is way more elegant.
This one comes in
soft,
unannounced, but then makes its presence known after it's in the room.
The finish just hits back here in the back of the jowls and the throat. And the finish, I know for a fact, we went around the room having a conversation, and the finish on this lasted for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Joe Carter, who was on the pick with us, he's like, I just drank water and I still can taste the finish. Water didn't stop it.
Yeah.
And it's not, Swag Junior was a powerhouse beast. This is so much more just elegant and but the finish, man, the nose and the flavor profile. Oh man. So if you're expecting Swag Junior, if you had that, or People's Bourbon, it's different than that. It's MGP. It's not Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't.
But it comes with power. It's still powerful. I think it's elegant like a Sunday brunch though, with its power.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. And
Pat, I think it'll be $100.
The way, we think it'll be $100. The way to get these is to be part of our Patreon community. Our patrons are the reason why are we even able to do barrel picks. So we want to be able to honor them or respect them and give that back to them. So they are the ones that have the option to buy it. So if you liked the option to buy a barrel pick, join our Patreon community. Yeah.
By the way, I did a banner for this, so you guys can see what the sticker is going to look like. I believe pending approval.
You did a
brand
thing. This one,
yeah,
pending approval.
So as you can see, Nashville Barrel Company Stuff and Whiskey MVP barrel pick, barrel number 3362, 7.5 years old, 119 proof. They'll be released in tiered order to our Patreon community. The only reason we do barrel picks is because of them. If people stop supporting us,
the only reason we can do barrel picks is because of them.
Right.
So if we have no patrons, we have no barrel picks,
and we just won't do them, and that's fine
we
too.
Won't do them. That's fine.
We got to take time off work. We got to go. I mean, we do these for the community because we want to hook people up with good whiskey. We're putting our stamp of approval on this one. Stuff and Whiskey and Maumee Valley Whiskey Society cordially invite you to Sunday brunch, and what that picture looks like is what we're tasting in the glass here right now. So that sample is in the giveaway if you want to get in on that for Super Chats. So Stephen, the link is in the video description below for Patreon. It's in tiered order. It's just a support thing. But again,
that's how you get access to the barrel picks. And the barrel picks we do will be going out through Patreon.
And this one will be for sale on Nashville Barrel Company's website. Not our website, their website. They make the money off of it, not us. That's it. Yeah. So this is awesome. I love this. So, all right. I forgot how to say Gaycon's name. I think it's Gaycon. Can a person buy a barrel of distillate and age it at their house? I'm not going to answer that. That's state dependent. There's legalities to that.
So check with your state.
Yeah. If you get a mini barrel and you don't tell anybody, I think you're fine. But like if you're buying distillate and aging it.
Also, when is the giveaway shut down?
It'll be an hour and 50 minutes. So 12 minutes from now.
12 minutes from now, the giveaway is shut down and Greg will select a winner.
So Malort's coming after we announce the giveaway winner.
So let's we
all the joy.
We have 12 minutes to do this. I'm gonna go start right now.
All right. So as Aaron's zipping through this, let's talk about the ECBP controversy. I
didn't know there was a controversy there either.
Oh, there is. So Rob Walker saying,
ooh, is ECBP known for peanuts?
Yeah.
I got peanuts. I never get peanuts.
So
I got it.
Hey,
I'm a professional whiskey taster, y'all now.
So thank you so much, Pat. Dave asks, so it's smooth, easy like Sunday morning. It's 119 proof.
It's not smooth, but it's balanced.
I would say it's really balanced.
It's balanced.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it an easy sipper. It's got a lot of concentration of flavor. It's just a different, it's almost like the yin to the yang that our picks last year with them were. Our picks last year were just like punch you in the face, take over your taste buds. This one is way more like it's just going to saunter in and just soak your palate with sweet saturation.
Am I picking top three here too?
So for these, when you're tasting this, pick top three, or do any of them stand out as being better than the rest? That's what you're really trying to answer here.
Okay.
That 5 of them may taste the same, 1 may taste different.
Okay.
3 of them may taste better, 3 may taste different.
Okay.
You pick. So, is there a standout or standouts?
Okay. What's the controversy? You have 11 minutes.
So, again, this is a laser code thing, which if you look on the back of an ECBP bottle down here, you will see a laser code right there above my finger.
Laser beams.
Lasers. Freaking lasers.
Laser beams.
The barrel
1 million laser beams.
The bottle that won our best of the year was an A222. Now, here's what we know about this, okay? What we know is that Cameron over at Drums and Drams is a big whiskey nerd, again, as we talked about earlier, and he used the word, and he admitted that he was when you're talking on the internet, sometimes you just say things. Lasergate. When you're talking on the internet, you just say things sometimes because you're just trying to think of a word to say to move on to the next word. And he used the word micro batches. And he admitted that was not a great word to use for what he was trying to say. And Heaven Hill emailed him and cleared it up. It's all the same batch, but they are bottled on different days. So they all go into this big tank, and then bottling happens over the course of several weeks of time. So what the theory was, thank you so much. What the theory was is that the later bottlings are better than the early bottlings.
That's the theory?
That's the theory.
On the interwebs?
Yes. So if the internet is correct, the later laser codes will be better and noticeably better than the earlier laser codes.
I have no standouts. They're all good.
Do any of them taste different to you?
No. Does
it taste like 6 of the same thing, or do they have the variation that the Michters had?
They had less variation than the Michters, but they don't taste identical, but they had less variation than Michters.
So you don't have any standouts though?
Nope.
Really?
They're all good.
You don't have any?
But I got peanut on all of them, and I'm a professional whiskey taster now.
All right. So Aaron, you're calling this a wash. They all rank the same for you.
Yep. They're good. Right. I like them though.
Okay.
They're delicious.
Now here's the thing. Before I go into this tasting, this one's going to be quicker than the Michters because these are not single barrels. So the difference is going to be way more subtle. I know this for a fact because we have an A23.
And that's probably why I can't pick it out, because I'm not good at picking up those nuances.
We have an A23 and an A22, and I've blinded them many times. And between those two, I cannot tell a difference. I can't. They taste identical. Now, when I have this much air in them, the only thing I can think of is that some people's have more air than others, and the one with more air is coming across better or something. I don't know. My expectation here is that I know things can be different. So I honestly don't have expectations here. I think there could be standouts for me, or there could be absolutely no difference between these pours at all.
Okay, you cannot talk about each pour because we have 8 minutes.
But here's what I will tell you going into this. I think this is a great batch. Both of the bottles that I have are great. And if there's any difference here, it's going to be small. This is the only time I've ever seen a channel taste more than just 2 bottles. And a lot of times people are only single blind, so they're tasting the exact same thing. So they're looking for minor differences. We're tasting 3 different A22s and 3 different A23s. A222, A223, A2223, A3333, A3331, A334 or 234. So like these are bottled over the course of 10, 12 days. Oh, smells fantastic. Oh,
stop.
That's I wanted to see how our pick stood up.
I know.
Oh man, it's like berries and maple syrup.
I'm trying to keep you on track, sir.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness. What am I going to do with you?
Okay. That one, glass 1, is definitely more peanutty. And I don't know if we're just getting that because we're coming off of our pick. That's just like fruity, maple syrupy.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I got peanut finally for like the second time in my life.
Peanut butter forward, cherry, like cordial cherries. Yeah, that's about, now the Rickhousey oak is setting in on the back of the palate. I'm going to do less notes on this one because they're all the same pour.
5 minutes until cutoff for the giveaway, which means you have 5 minutes.
So if you've had C923, you know what it tastes like. Doesn't matter which laser code. If you've had other ECBPs, you kind of know what this tastes like, but this is the best one in years. Whoa. You gotta be careful. All right. You want to scroll up in chat and see if I missed anything? Because I was in rant mode.
Nope, you're going to drink.
I might run this like a ladder.
Scott S. said, good luck keeping Josh on track. We need to give Aaron a whip.
I do think that glass 1 has a little bit more like cola-y effervescence.
Okay.
And glass 2 has a little bit more rich caramel.
Okay.
That,
and you like the rich caramel.
Yes. I think that tastes similar to the difference in the Michter's 10 single barrels.
Okay.
Which is surprising to me. I did not expect that to happen.
Well, probably because I told you I didn't taste any different. But again, I'm not as nuanced at picking up those things as you are.
This smells a lot like glass 2. All right, this has more cola-y effervescence like glass 1.
Interesting.
Interesting. Man, I did not expect that to be the case.
Look, it's a squirrel.
All right. It is weird how glass 2 had that. So glass 1 and 3 have a little bit more of like, when I say cola-y effervescence, it's like a dark cola syrup. Like you ever go to a fountain, like a soda fountain, and you get Coca-Cola out of it, but they mess the syrup ratios up and it's like too syrup heavy.
Yeah.
Which is not good in cola, but it's good in whiskey. Hey.
Oh, thanks, Ryan. You're down in Murfreesboro.
Hey, neighbor.
It's okay to go to bed, Aaron, and let Josh rant. No, if I leave him to his own devices, y'all will be here forever. Oh, thank you, Gandy Road.
Okay. I'd say 1 and 3 have like a cola-y effervescence.
James.
1 and 3 have cola-y effervescence. 2 has the most richness. 4 kind of has like a
2 minutes left until the giveaway
oakiness.
Cut off. If you'd like to get entered into the giveaway to win 2 ECBPs, like 13th Colony Double Oaked, some other fun stuff, and then also our latest pick from Nashville Barrel Company that we picked yesterday, hot off the press. Oh, today's not Saturday. Friday, 2 days ago, hot off the press. Get entered. Got you, Philip. Yes, Josh, stay hydrated. He's doing Kate's job for her.
Okay. Glass 5 has more berry sweetness, whereas glass 2 had a little bit more like caramelly sweetness. So if the internet's not lying, then the A233s should beat out the A22s.
Okay.
Or the A23s should beat out the A22s.
Okay.
If the internet's not lying. I think we determined that the internet wasn't totally wrong on the Michters.
The internet wasn't totally wrong, but also wasn't totally right.
Wasn't totally right either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all, man, stick with me here, guys. It's almost like you should just be careful what you read. You know, like something like believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. You heard that?
I've heard that saying. I don't know if that's how it goes, but yeah.
That is how the saying goes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Rob has a good idea. Get a spray bottle, and if I need you to wrap it up, I just give you a spritz. It'll also hydrate you.
That's good. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah, they're all good.
So I think I'm going to go much your way. I think I have 3 front runners, and I have 3 backup packs.
Okay.
I actually have 2 last places.
We are at cutoff for the giveaway.
All right. So, Greg, let us know a number on the super chats, and we will run the randomizer, which I need my cell phone for, which is right here.
Let me turn off the little banner thingy. Boom.
All right. All right.
Okay. So you have your 3?
Here's all. I think this is the best one. And I can check these real quick. Again, I think you're right. Any difference here is less than the Michters.
It's small.
They're very close.
Mm-hmm.
Greg's saying 1 to 70. If you win, please email us at stuffandwhiskey gmail.com to make sure we have your email address. So you can see here 1 to 70. Greg has already randomized the list, so it doesn't matter if you were first or last in super chatting.
And then we're going to randomize the drawing. Number 67.
Greg will let us know who number 67 is.
All right.
I'm doing a quick check just to make sure we're good. James Lay! Heck yeah. James, congrats, man. You got some stuff coming your way. I mean, you got more 13 Colony Double Oak coming your way. Plus, you're going to figure out if this is for real or not.
Ooh, Philip said Kate's in Puerto Rico, enjoying fun island life for a few days. Jealous.
Nice. So James is like, what? It's one of those things like, when you participate in things like this, you're like, oh, I never win and nobody ever wins and it's rigged and everything. And then you win and you're like, it's not rigged. I actually did it. It happens to me sometimes too.
I remember when you first got into whiskey, like right before we started the channel, you got into it again and you entered a lot of like drawings and stuff. And you seemed to win like all the drawings. It was so random. It was like weird. I was like, how do you get this lucky all the time? I never win anything.
Yeah. All right, here's what I'll say about this before we do the reveal. These all, they are the same product, so they all taste like the same product. If there's a difference here, if we do this reveal and it's all of the later laser codes better than all the earlier laser codes, then, okay, I'll believe that there's something going on with the extra blending time in the tank or something like that. If that's not the case, then I have to believe it's because of somebody's had their bottle open for more or less time than the others, Because there's nothing that, if it's not correlating, there is a very slight difference. Don't go out and pay extra money trying to hunt down extra, unless the top ones are the best ones. So.
Or unless you want to, unless you find that fun and enjoyable, but don't do it because you feel like you have to.
James said, I'm stunned. Honestly, I've never had an NBC pick ever. Dude, if I would have known that, I would have put some more samples in the box and it would have blown your mind. They're my favorite. They're my favorite. All right, here we go. Okay. We'll do the reveal real quick. All right,
reveal, and then it's Malort time.
I'm putting 1 and 3 as the bottom. Oh, those are the Michters. 1 and 3 is the bottom.
Okay.
Okay, one of these is our bottle that did not win our best of the year, A23332256. And then one is Zach Anderson's. Thank you, Zach. A223-31823. So we got an A22 and an A23 at the bottom.
So what are the best ones supposed to be?
And the A23s. These taste identical. 1 and 3 taste identical, and they're different laser codes, like A22 and A23. So there you go.
So A23 is supposed to be the best, and one of them is in the bottom.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay.
Third place?
Yep, third place.
Yeah. Is an A22. Thank you, Whiskey Guy 1959, for sending this one. It's an A22. So we got 2 A22s, 1 A23 at the bottom. These tasted identical. And it is an A234, which is the latest bottling in here from Whiskey Guy 1959 as well. Thank you. And then one of these is our bottle that won the best of the year, which was the A22. So that came in second.
Okay.
And then first place, you can see these are in a line. Like first, second, third is kind of all the same. And this was the A23 from Zach Anderson. So
what was supposed to be the best? A23?
Hey, Werner, me too.
I'm confused. Which one's supposed to be the best?
A23.
Okay, so it was one of the best, but it wasn't all A23s.
Right.
It was mixed. It was pretty evenly dispersed. The A23 bottles.
They were. It was all mixed up, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think the theory holds weight. I think the Michter's theory holds very little water, and this holds even less.
I feel like the Michter's theory is not entirely wrong, but it's not entirely truthful.
Which is not a reason to pay $150 premium for a 23A.
But I feel like this is I think we debunked it in our pretend that we're wearing lab coats. Also, James said, feel free to swap the 13th colony out for someone, for another one when you give them the samples.
It's already packaged up. You're getting it.
Yeah, he already did it.
I'm not unpackaging it. All right. So Put it in the blind flight. Run the blind flight, James. See if you. I mean, you'll know which one it is, but see if you like any of the other ones better. You never know. It's blind. Okay, so I think we're good here. We've determined that to me, this is the one. This is the only one that stands out above the rest. I had one Michter's that stood out above the rest, and I had one of these that stood out above the rest.
And to me,
but I had other ones that finished low.
To me, they were all good, and I wasn't able to tell the different nuances between them all. I wasn't that well versed in the whiskey tasting world.
So ultimately, don't worry about it. I think somebody earlier said, and I'm like a respect guy, for better, for worse, for whatever. I don't like the phrase "shut up." It feels so abrasive to me. I don't know. But somebody just said, like, just shut up and enjoy the whiskey. And that, like, it sounds even weird coming out of my mouth because I just don't say that phrase.
You don't.
But kind of, yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah. All right.
It's time. We have a special guest. I thought I was dead last in our fantasy football league until this man somehow stole defeat from the jaws of victory. Let's bring him in.
Matthew Burns.
The actual last place team. Oh man. All right, you're muted. Unmute. Let us know how you're doing.
Yeah, I had to make sure that everyone knows I'm the actual last place. Yeah. And I'm pouring it live. No substitutions.
Only up to the very last minute.
Yeah, Josh was like last place all season long.
That's true, but I lost fair and square. I appreciate how nice you are, but I lost fair and square.
Well, it's solidarity, brother. We got you, man. All right, you're going in a Glen. I was maybe just going to go right out of the bottle.
Yeah, I don't know. It was here. Might as well.
You can have some too. Out of the bottle.
It's not the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. Yes, I said that. It's not horrible.
Okay.
It's not good.
It's not good, but it's not horrible.
Brandon hit the nail on the head.
What?
Brandon is last in our heart, or Josh is last in our heart.
So if you guys don't know, this is punishment for that's good. The Stuff and Whiskey Fantasy Football League that Josh and Matt were both a part of, and they were the bottom two in the whole league. So they get to commiserate their loss by drinking Malort. And I will, in solidarity, even though I don't even watch the foosball, I will
ruin your evening.
I just want to real quick. I want to smell and taste our pick before we do this.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, it's like when I taste something so good, and then
Scott says only this channel will start with Michter's 10 and end with Malort.
So let's go ahead. How about this, Matt? Let's go ahead and just take our medicine, and then let's talk about how we got here. While we're just as Gandy Rhodes says, the aftertaste is what is so bad. As we're just basking in the aftertaste, let's talk about it. Let's talk it out. Have you ever had Malort?
I have not.
Okay, we've only had it once, so I don't remember exactly. I kind of think I might have blacked out. Let's find out.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, brother.
It's just peppery.
It's not peppery. It's not good. It's not.
It's the finish. Oh my god.
Oh, the finish. Now the finish lasts a really long time.
It does.
Oh, it's getting worse. It's getting. Oh yeah. Whiskey Britches says Malort equals fish vomit. That's actually one of the best tasting notes that's ever been on this channel.
Oh no, it's like
This is 70 proof.
Oh, it's worse than last time. It's worse than last time. It's made out of like wormwood, right? Is that a worm? It's a wormwood liqueur. I don't know. It tastes like wood that worms have been in.
It does. It kind of tastes earthy.
Yeah. All right. So
it's like hot ones, except for it's nasty instead of hot.
Instead of hot.
Oh, I'd take hot ones any day over this.
Ooh, sour grapefruit. Yes.
And lava soap.
Oh.
Sour grapefruit. It definitely is. There's a grapefruit.
It's like a rotten grapefruit.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So
it's the finish that keeps on giving, Tom says.
The finish. There's a lot of whiskeys that wish they had a finish this long.
That's true. That's true.
Pat says he does like Campari. And look, I like Campari too. You know what this is like? Campari is like Oops, I Did It Again, Britney Spears.
Okay.
And Malort is like current day Britney Spears.
Free Britney.
I would say it's like a shaved head Britney Spears.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Shaved head going barefoot in the toilet in the bathroom.
I'm pretty off pop culture, so I think she's actually
she's got her groove back.
She took back.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got her groove back.
She's
like
been
Stella.
freed from her like father or something like that.
All right, if you're going for water, I am too. Oh my gosh, this is
Oh yeah, it's got
you guys are a bunch of sissies. I haven't had a sip of water.
You know what's funny is that like when you drink water with Malort, you still taste the Malort. That is like the finish of our pick that we did on Friday, where you can drink water and just still taste the finish.
Scott says it's not a finish; it's the lasting memory of regret.
Oh man, it just hangs
so
out.
Bad.
It's a lot like and this isn't going to sell it, but this is a lot like our barrel pick in that
it's not.
the finish on our barrel pick of the NBC barrel pick hangs around forever. It soaks into your back of your throat. I mean, ours has more power than this, but it doesn't go away.
And a better flavor.
Oh, it's polar opposite on flavor. This is the worst of the worst, and that's the best.
Wait a second though. Like I appreciate what you say, but like they sell this. People buy this. It has a lot of business.
Yeah. I'm not sure why.
People like it. It's like, I don't know. I think it might be people who like Pabst Blue Ribbon and things like that, you know?
Oh my gosh. So bad.
Oh, Bill, you dirty dog.
Does it taste like 8 or 9-year-old Malort?
Definitely 9-year Malort.
Look, I will say I probably got what I deserved by making my team name be a joke about you.
What was your team name?
That's fair.
The Dickel Niners.
Like the 49ers.
Yeah.
I thought it was the best name.
Do you want to tell the story for anyone who might not know real quick?
So before
you cap it off?
Well, the Dickel Niners, the name came from when I was on Matt Madness last year, and I said Dickel 9, and I just said Dickel 9 bourbon, and Matt asked for clarification, and I went down and grabbed the bottle of Dickel 8-year bourbon because I had a dyslexic moment where I confused Dickel 8-year bourbon and the Dickel 9-year store picks. I went and got the Dickel 8-year bottle because that's what I was thinking about. I don't have any of the 9-year store picks. And then, of course, anybody that watched that knows how it went. I was DQ'd off of that.
You were dethroned.
Or no, I didn't get the points. That's what it was. And I lost. If I would have got the points, I would have advanced. Not won.
You would have won that round.
I would have advanced in that round.
You would have won that round.
Right. So that hurt my heart.
You would have knocked out Sean too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But
look at that.
That was my fault. That was my fault. And you know, Matt hates dyslexic people, and it's okay. It's okay. You know, that's his prerogative. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not actually.
I'm trying.
Not actually dyslexic.
This is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. The finish is still there.
It's worthy of last place punishment, right?
It is. It absolutely is. I deserve it.
Yeah, and I think the most accurate thing is it's like a grape, like a turned grapefruit. Yeah. Not like a good grapefruit, like a bad grapefruit.
So
make sure everybody knows that I had first pick too.
So you had first pick of the draft. That's what I was going to say. So I'm here because I'm not good. You're here because of bad luck. Okay, it's a big difference. It's a big difference. So one of the agreements as part of the Stuff and Whiskey Fantasy Football League that we did over, through Patreon and Discord and everything, we had a 10-person league. Matt had the first pick. Before everything started, we agreed the winners were going to win, like, I don't know, it was like a Weller Full Proof and a Michter's Toasted Barrel Rye and like something else.
Did Brandon
an
win?
E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. No, he didn't actually.
Oh, who won?
So the winner, Buckets won.
I don't know who
that
is.
Which he beat me.
Brandon was in the playoffs though. He got something.
Yeah, he was in the finals. He was in the finals.
He got something.
But Matt had the first pick in the draft. I was like 8th out of 10.
Yeah.
We went through, and so I hadn't played fantasy football in probably 10 years. Like PPF leagues were not a thing when I was playing fantasy football. So I had no clue how important and valuable wide receivers were. So I, in the first round with the 8th pick, drafted Patrick Mahomes. And then it snaked back to me, and I'm a Tennessee Titans fan because we live here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I've always been a Titans fan, and my mom's family's from Bama. So with the second pick, I drafted Derrick Henry. And I think we all know how poor of a year in the regular season that Patrick Mahomes and Derrick Henry had. It was not good. So I was already clawing from behind, and I worked so hard all season to improve my team through free agency and who was performing well. And I did actually improve it enough to beat Matt. But it wasn't until the very end of the season, and by far, like, all my players were healthy. I never had to deal with injuries. And I think Matt probably had at least 1 or 2 people injured every single week. He just had bad luck.
I had a string of, I think it was 6 weeks in a row where I got a receiver off the waiver wire, and then that receiver went on injured reserve for the rest of the season that week that I added them. So yeah. To Brandon's point, yes, I thought I was all awesome drafting Justin Jefferson first, and that did me a lot of good.
Who wouldn't? You know?
Yeah,
that should be a great pick. I mean, arguably, and to Dave's point, yeah, PPR. Sorry, points per reception. PPF is power. Yeah. Anyways, PPR. Like, that should have been the right pick. That's a good first pick. Now you know. I just blew it.
Now you know.
I just blew it. I didn't know, but Matt had to deal with the injuries. The agreement was last place in the league would have to suffer the Malort consequences. Matt was last in the league because I did improve my team quite a bit, and he did have a lot of injuries to deal with. But I could not let my friend deal with Malort without me dealing with Malort too, when I was actually the worst team in the league
for the most of the season
until the very, very end. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, I was the laughing stock of our league. And next year I will not draft a quarterback, and I will not draft a running back early in a PPR league. That was dumb. And now I know better.
Now you know better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna predict that I still finish near the bottom next year, but
we'll see.
I'm gonna try.
It's gonna be a good time. We've expanded to 12 people. I think we're full up on that, but yeah, we'll see if more people want in. If you join Discord, if you're a big fantasy football person, if you hop in over on Patreon and you want to be more of a part, we'll figure it out. I think Zach Anderson, who graciously donated a couple of samples for tonight, and I think his won the B. Yeah, his ECBP was my favorite.
Was he on tonight? I don't think I saw him in chat.
I didn't see him in the chat. No, he just got married, so I think he's busy.
Okay.
But dude, by the way, thank you very much while you're on screen. Thank you for the Michter sample. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
They were all good, but that one, that spice, man, it's good.
Yeah, it's funny is you and I are so similar on palate that I knew exactly which one mine was.
That's funny.
When I said it had that dry oak spice. Oh, that's awesome.
Dude,
good deal, man.
Good. Yeah.
Well, Matt, brother, we'll talk soon. Everybody here in chat, we still got 98 on. Thank you so much. On your way out the door, please hit the like button. It does help a lot for this popping up in the feed of other people. It'd be a help to the channel if you feel like helping out. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
Freaking love y'all. It was a great night. And this was fun. I think we found out that the internet is partially true sometimes.
Very insightful.
Yeah.
And on that, we will
breaking news. The internet is kind of true sometimes.
Yep.
If you're careful with your information.
Yep. All right. On that note, be good to each other, guys. Bye.
Right.
Cheers.